Hi everyone, again Heather here and welcome to Ethnic Studies 5. What we have here is a quick introduction to a very different way of grading in this class. We're going to experiment with what's called contract grading, and hopefully by the end of this really short video you're going to answer these three questions. What is contract grading? Why are we doing it? And how does that going to look in our class? So what is contract grading? Basically, you get to choose your grade based on how much work you want to do in this class. If you fulfill the basic criteria, you're going to get a B, right? Basically, there's sort of everyone's kind of starting at a B, and there's ways to move up. And if you don't do the work, you move down. And the idea is that you're not going to get grades on your assignments in this class. You're going to get feedback because really, as we're going to talk about here, the whole goal of this class isn't to get as many points or to get the perfect grade on everything. The point of this class is to engage and think about and reflect and maybe learn a thing or two, right? And also why contract grading, just like you and everyone else, your instructors like myself are subject to bias, specifically unconscious bias in terms of grading and how that plays out based on gender, race, class, experience, familiarity with English, so on and so forth. So it's designed to address bias. It's designed to, again, get us away from focusing on points and focusing instead on feedback, right? Learning from the things we did well, learning from areas that we can grow. Contract grading is really designed to reward effort and risk-taking, right? So if I see an improvement over the course of the semester, that's something that can play into your grade. Doing an assignment in a different way than maybe you're comfortable with, you don't get punished for that. And really the idea is you can focus tailor your focus to what's specifically interesting to you in this class. So all sorts of reasons for contract grading. I mentioned unconscious bias. We're going to be talking a lot about that in this class, but the point here is, again, as a human, as much as I'd like to think I'm not biased and things don't play a role in a quote grade I give, they do. So contract grading is a way to address that. And it's also, as I mentioned, designed to help us grow, right? It's designed to get us from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, right? A fixed mindset is this idea that people are just smart or they're not, that avoids challenges because what if I make a mistake? This sense that somehow you're just inherently not good at something, there's no way you're going to get better at something. We don't want to be there. That's not a good place to be learning new things. So contract grading is designed to reward and encourage and nurture more of a growth mindset, right? Putting yourself out there, trying something new, learning from feedback, recognizing that effort does pay off. Mistakes are not something to avoid, but something to embrace because that's how we learn, right? So the other reason for contract grading, we want to be over here, not over here. Okay, so that was the what and the why. The other why is this idea of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but extrinsic motivation is essentially, if I do this, then I will get that, right? So the old model of grading is if I do this, I'll get an A. If I don't do this, I'll get an F. We don't want to be there. It's not entirely bad. We do this all the time, right? We do things to get a job, to get a promotion, to win an award. But I really want to nurture intrinsic motivation, right? That you're engaging in this course, you're engaging in the conversations, the material, not to quote, get a grade, but because it's interesting or you're curious or it kind of helps you learn more about yourself, right? So contract grading is really designed to encourage intrinsic motivation as well. Okay, so we talked about the what and the why. Let's talk about the how. So like I said, basically everyone is starting with a B in this class. So as long as you don't miss more than 2 participation assignments and don't miss more than 5 reflection assignments, you are guaranteed a B, right? It doesn't matter how, quote, well you do on the assignment or not. If you put in the effort, turn them in, don't miss more than 2 and 5, you will get a B, and then so on and so forth down here. So you'll notice A's and the B's are the same. So how do you get an A in this class? Turning everything in, of course, but what really will get you an A is one of these three things. If I see a marked improvement in your level of engagement and thinking and the questions that you're asking me and your fellow students, that's one way, right? Change over time. If you're going kind of above and beyond on a particular number of assignments, you've really like, wow, this is really interesting to me, and so I kind of went down this rabbit hole, and I kind of learned this, that, and the other, right? So going above and beyond. And then you'll notice that we have these online chats every week, and if I'm seeing really thoughtful, respectful, curious engagement in those spaces, that's another way to learn an A. So you'll notice that A is not dependent on did you quote get it right or wrong. It's just really diving in there and engaging in the material. And to that end, we have a big do-over policy. So if you do an assignment and it didn't knock it out of the park, or it's bugging you, or you want you want to learn it better, you can do over any assignment in this class, because again, mistakes are not failures, they're opportunities to learn. So that was quick and fast, and this is probably new to most of you. It's definitely new to me, but that is contract grading, and I'm excited to see how it goes this semester. Of course, reach out anytime if you have questions. Thanks.